Good morning, everyone. I'm Rich Fuller from Blacksmith Institute, and I'm very excited to be here, absent, of course, from being with you all in Montevideo, but happy to be a part of your conference. Especially glad to see that Ana Oliveira is there and other representatives from DINAMA and other people from the Ministry of Health. So thank you all for coming along to this workshop to celebrate the end of a very successful project in Montevideo, working on chemicals and contaminated sites. You know, we've had a long and successful relationship with the city of Montevideo and with Uruguay. In fact, Fernando Lugris, Ambassador Lugris, is with me right now in New York about to deal with the Sustainable Development Goal initiatives going on in the UN. So Uruguay is a country that we have a great deal of fondness for and are very, very pleased to see how much they've adopted the chemicals agenda and how committed they are to dealing with the chemicals agenda, not just in your own country with projects like this, but globally around the world as well. So we're very grateful for all of that. For those who are not familiar with the Global Alliance on Health and Pollution, of which the city and the country are members, this is an alliance formed by a number of international agencies and countries, including the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, BID, UNEP, UNDP, UNIDO, and others. And there are a couple of dozen countries who are members as well. And all of us are committed to solving pollution problems around the world. We're all in this because we think that pollution is one of the most important problems that has been yet to be addressed properly in low and middle income countries. And in fact, recent analysis shows that it causes more death than malaria, HIV, and tuberculosis combined. In fact, 3 times more death than the amount of death caused by malaria, HIV, and tuberculosis combined, and yet very little is done about it. So clearly this is an area that any work that we can do can bring some very large and successful returns, and is something that the Global Alliance is committed to doing. So the project that we've just completed really is a good exemplar of how one can go ahead and deal with contaminated sites in a particular location. The project builds on some successful work that the Global Alliance and Blacksmith Institute had done with the city on evaluating toxic hotspots, not just in the city of Montevideo, but throughout Uruguay. And with funding from the European Union and from the World Bank, this program has been a great model for how to go around and find toxic sites and clean them up. And it's the latter part that is terribly important, we think. We've not only identified places that have a pollution health risk associated with them, we've also gone in and been able to clean these places, stop the pathway of exposure, especially of lead, into local populations. And thereby we're affecting, in a positive way, the health of the local inhabitants in Montevideo. What was nice about this project was not just the support from the city and the national government, but the support also from local government. And I'm sure many of you are present in the room. I just want to add my thanks to you all for being so supportive of helping with all of this work, and in fact of providing much of the implementation support. It was local government agencies and people within the ministries who were there going around with the technical equipment to find these small localized hotspots of contamination and making sure that they are rendered safe for the local children walking around. Another thing that also was very important about this project was that aside from the money that was provided through the Global Alliance, additional resources were provided by local agencies. And in fact, my understanding is that the support provided by local agencies more than doubled the support that was given from the alliance, and for that we're very grateful. Finally, when we look at the results here, most importantly, this is a very cost-effective way to make sure that children in these communities are kept safe. Not a lot of money was spent, but a large number of people are affected and are no longer at risk from exposure to dangerous chemicals. And that's what we like to see. We think that there are about 15,000 people, perhaps, that were affected here. As you all know and have heard about or will hear about, there were 9 neighborhoods that were screened and cleaned, especially for lead, and more than 250, mostly children, tested for lead poisoning. So on behalf of the Global Alliance and all of our member agencies, I really want to congratulate the city of Montevideo and all of its local partners for a very successful implementation of this project. And I'd like to encourage you to continue your efforts to make this type of initiative a part of your programs and share your experience and expertise with other municipalities, and allow us also to share the experience of this work around the world with other cities and countries around the world, just to show how it should be done. So with that being said, I wish you the very best for the rest of your conference, and I send you my best from New York City. Goodbye.